always here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Two teams more than ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Ford Field. On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go option to the short side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
And this, I mean, it's certainly... out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. 57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Nothing fancy there. A little smash mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
The Lions at 12-3 now on the year, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl front runners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
They'll try it now with Swift. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
He's airing it out for Williams. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jamison Williams, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And I believe he was able to get this back. He was. Boy, after giving up the touchdown, lucky that didn't turn into another.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
And the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. His pass on target, Velus Jones with it. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Running left, Montgomery. They find some open field here. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. 116 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Here's Fields. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Now Fields on third and goal. Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Bears go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Santos with the extra point. And we are tied at 7.
That ties the game at 7. Cairo Santos kicking off for Chicago.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. These two teams all tied after 1. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Play action. It's Fields. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And then
Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
These two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10, and it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Goff now to throw. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's good for the Lions. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Goff now looks to throw. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Sure, that pass was incomplete. They made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Julian Okwara. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 145 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Off play action, Fields. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Santos' kick is up and through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
Throw it out the window.
yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. There he goes left side. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. He had already had an interception earlier. Now, Charles, he says, I think I'll get another, and I'll take this one all the way back for the score.
Well, you know how I feel about those defensive backs, especially safeties. They're certainly some of the best athletes on the team. They're asked to do a little bit of everything. And when you combine their athleticism with their field vision, those types of plays result.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the end zone, here comes Williams. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made, is the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Hell, you won! Hold on. Check.
On first and 10, and he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Second time in this first half now, Charles, and he's coughed up the football.
And both times, I think, they were in spots where he's got to think about covering up the ball. He's got to revert to his fundamentals in those practice drills where they carry it through traffic. He's not out in the open field where he can swing it a little bit, cover it up, and take care of it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. On play action, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he's going to be out of bounds, but...
Takes it inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Fields. There's Mooney with another catch. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. On 1st down, it's Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Throwing again is Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. In. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields taking it in from 11 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Santos with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Obama.
On 1st and 10, Goff. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now Montgomery running right. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now it's 2nd and 9. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And the lead will stay put at 17.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
Rolling to his right. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields goes right back to him. It's Griffin again. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Caught by Jones. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Fields on 3rd down. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd down, Swift. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28th.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
To throw is Goff. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here we go on 4th. Goff. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fields. Man open, here is Jones. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you know, if you've got the defense laying back, maybe that option works. But if you're coming hard on 3rd down,
it doesn't work because you force the hand of the quarterback and the runner too quickly. And most of the time, unsuccessfully.
So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really nowhere to go here, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him. No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
On second down, Montgomery. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. This one swung out to Montgomery. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it. But it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
So the fumble recovery had him set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Gone. And my goodness, another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown up. Oh, this is blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflated.
Williams loses the football. And I believe he was able to get this back. He was. Boy, after giving up the touchdown, lucky that didn't turn into another. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Finding Hockenson here on the out route.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. Now it's gone. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tavon Young.
And the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Downstairs. You mean? Girl, I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. You said you needed 5, that was more than 12 ago. Claim you got your hands tied, time stuck like Velcro. Georgia Peach on east side like it's ATL. You lacking, you tripping, you slacking, impatient, be waiting, confused like what happened. You get attitude cause I'm getting mad, cause you wanna take 20 minutes and a half. And on top of that, I gotta get gas out of the freeway, pick up traffic. What the is you doing? We gotta dip. Cardi, yeah. Watch your tick. Waiting for that last minute for your hell. Now stop playing games, go and bring your downstairs.